Hello everyone. Now in this video I'm going to be giving in my 2 cents about the whole Kooleen hoopla. Now a lot of creators have already said most of what I had on my mind and what issues I had with the drama. But one thing that people are twisting, especially on TikTok, is the Kooleen side profile guide itself. If you watch an art tutorial and you assume that that's the only way to draw, then I think that's on you. The media is saturated with various different art, and I feel as if there's no reason to think that that is the way and only way to draw something. So right there, that's one issue that I feel like is out of proportion. Now, with that being said, if she's not drawing people of color because she thinks their features are ugly, then that would be a problem. Reasoning matters. And this comes up because she said that she only draws beautiful people, and years of her art shows lack of black people, thereby correlating the two. This correlation, along with a few others, do raise some eyebrows, but are not, in my opinion, strong enough to define her as a racist. Ignorance seems to be more plausible. Kooleen recently apologized, and although I find her apology to be a bit passive-aggressive, I think it was still a step in the right direction. Now, like I said before, many creators have made posts and videos already about this topic, but there's one thing in particular that I feel like was a bit left out, and that was that the tutorial that Kooleen made works, at least for her style and for similar styles, they work. But people are making this narrative and twisting it to make it seem as if there's no basis. I drew this piece last year of 2022 following Khalid's tutorial. Now, I'm not sure if that was the exact video, but as you can see that it works. Like, the drawing looks fine. It looks anime style and it works. Before I go any deeper, I just wanted to make it clear that Kooleen's side profile is not anything new, and she didn't invent it. In fact, I viewed a similar post a long time ago before her channel was even created on Instagram with a hashtag art tip. Kooleen's art style is semi-realistic, a mix of anime and realism. People love to use that as an edge with their claim, but are ignoring two things. One, the semi in that respect being anime. If I showed you just the guide with no context, it's safe to assume that most people would assume that it's an unfinished anime drawing. Now for the realism. Although not a majority of people of color fit that standard, some people of color do. And then lastly, again, she doesn't have to draw different profiles. She is free to stick with her same face syndrome, but of course, she then cannot pass that on as valid criticism, which is what she tried to do.
So, let me give you some hashtag valid criticism.
The Kooleen side profile TikTok trend is very infuriating because for the most part, it seems as if people don't know how to apply the profile correctly to their piece or they're deliberately not doing it correctly. Of course, the profile is not going to work for every piece, especially if your art style is not similar to hers, but it does work for many of them that I see. This creator tried to use the liquidify tool to fit Kooleen's guide, and right away I can tell that it wasn't used properly. Now here's me attempting to do the guide, and what a lot of people are also forgetting is that the ears need to go back just a little too when using her guide. And as you can see, the difference between the one I did on the left and the one that was done on the right. Here's another video claiming that their reference does not fit Kooleen's guide. Now, just by looking at the photo, I can already tell that it would, because her thing was that nothing should exceed the nose line. But here I am putting it on just so you can see that it does fit the guide. Now, I'm not sure if this was a joke or if people were complaining and then it was said to be a joke, but whatever it is, there's tons of it on TikTok that clearly fit the guide. When this controversy first started happening, personally, I wasn't really offended. I was more annoyed than anything, and that was mainly because, like, I knew better, basically, and it's nothing new to me. It was surprising to hear that from Kooleen, but honestly, I thought it was bound to happen because of her whole harsh humor thing. I don't find it funny, but I could see why other people would find it funny. And I knew as time went on, there would be a point where she would take it too far. And here it is. with the whole fixing art trend, this is a very old art trend, and the problems that I had with it from even way far back when I first saw it was that people would change the piece almost completely. It would be basically them drawing the piece in their art style versus them improving things that they see could be better on the piece and whatnot. Now, here are the creators that do it right, in my opinion, most of the time, and check out their profile. Link will be in the description. They keep true to the original piece and do not completely overhaul it, but still put in some tweaks and improvements that the people asked for. Since people only tend to remember the beginning and the end of a conversation or video, I'm just going to do a quick recap and say that although I do not agree with her actions and what she said, but the guide of her video itself I see no issues with, and I think people are just taking that out of proportion. Thank you for watching my video. I know that I'm not the best at explaining things and that this video is different from what I usually make, but I wanted to step out my comfort zone and make something different.